Well, hello once again from makingmoneyfromjunk.com. We're here today with another load of items that we're going to send off to a refiner. I've not been real thrilled with the response I've had from my last refiner, so I'm going to be sending this load to my new refiner. We'll see how well he gets the job done. He's promised me to see returns very quickly, so we'll see what's going on. So I'm going to go through a little bit about what I'm going to be sending him. And I'll show him this video. You'll see the video, and he'll give me a time frame of when it's supposed to be. And well, it should be some fun here. So here's what we're looking at. I've got a pile of all this stuff is just a generic gold bearing material. There's some cell phone cards in here. There's some just things that have a lot of good gold showing on them, gold bearing cards. Now what I did find as I went through is over time I have gathered a lot of these, and they've got real nice gold pins on both the large and the smaller connectors, and so we want to get that refined, but it's very heavy. It's probably almost a quarter of a pound by itself, and I may have 20 or 30 of them in there. So to keep the shipping costs down, I'm going to have to take these down a little bit and get rid of some of this heavier metal just to help keep the shipping cost, and it's just a waste of acid anyway if you're going to try to refine it. So that's something you also want to take care of. If there was only one or two of those, I'd probably just leave them in the lot, but because there's just so many of them, you can see another one's here, and there's 4 or 5 more buried in there, and I've got another bucket over here I'll show you in a minute. I have just a lot of stuff. So here I've got some things from a test. These are vintage type gold pieces, and so they're real nice, heavy, thick stuff. This is all vintage. Typically on a bluer board, they're going to be a higher quality. I got some interesting fingers here, a variety of things, and had some of these fingers that I found. This was just solid finger all the way across, so that was really neat. That was inside of a slot, kind of. Well, let's see, that's not a slot, but here's a slot, and it was down in there, and then another slot on top of it, so it meshed them together. So that's how that was. And there had been a couple of those in there, and as you can see, one in here, great big thing, the same kind of thing. So always look for those kind of things, of course. I've got just some example here. I've got chips, and I've got some what they call flat packs. These are EPROMs, and then so there's quite a few of those. Actually, I have a box over here that's got a bunch of them in, but I was running out of room on the table trying to put everything out. I've got some things here. These are all little real fine type of connectors that I had. I don't know what they came out of, but there was a bunch of them, and so I've got those kind of put together because they're all similar type of things. I've got some military connectors here that have gold pins in them. This is all from 3.5-inch drives. This is the little the gold piece. That's all I ever keep out of a 3.5-inch drive, is that kind of stuff. Got one little set of boards back here that are gold. The solder plate is all gold, and that was just some scrappy type stuff, and so I've got that. This is just one board that it has some lots of LEDs on it, and I wish my zoom worked a lot better on the camera. It doesn't do well on macro, but there's little gold wires in each one of those, so I'm going to have him try to look at that and see what he can do with it. And over here, these are displays, but there's a lot of gold on those, and so we got to see how we can deal with that. And one reason is because I've got a bunch of those on here, and a big pile of those kinds of things. Some of them have the chip on them that have a lot of good gold showing, and some of them just have the fingers and so on and so forth. But these boards all have this little display, and that is a really interesting looking kind of thing. Then I've got some backplane material. Now this is going to be real obviously heavy, good gold bearing, and good return on there. It's got a lot of pins on it, and it's got the gold base all around, and there's several of those. I got one just today that was really nice, and that's that one down there on the bottom. So that's going to be a really good one, I believe, as well. What else we got? Lots of little tiny pieces that I've been collecting over the last several months. Little parts and pieces that came off of stuff. Some big transistors out of some vintage stuff that's nice, heavily gold plated. This was out of some stuff that's from the 1950s. And a lot of little pieces, wires and pins. I've got some material here. I'm not sure if he's going to process it. And so that's one thing I'm going to ask him about on the video is, hey, you want this stuff or not? There are a lot of pins on there that are gold plated, and I think the solder mask is actually a silver base, but I couldn't swear to that. It's really old test board, so maybe that's going to be good stuff and maybe not. Excuse me. There's a lot of backplane. Now this is some heavy backplane stuff with a whole bunch of these connectors all on one thing, and this was a real good one, again out of a vintage piece, and it had some large test points on there that were gold plated, so I like that one. Another great big heavy backplane with lots and lots of gold pins here, so that's all real nice. And the best part about it is it's 100% clean. There's no solder anywhere. There's no type of anything on there. And I wanted to show you, I've got another one here that's original as it came out, and it had just these wires on there and these little strips, and those you just pick straight up with a screwdriver, and those will come right off, and then it'll be all nice and clean. And look at that connector that's on there. That's a beautiful connector, and I've got the other one that came off this other board. Well, I got to hurry up in through here and give you a little more idea of what's going on. We've got lots of these little circuits that have gold down in there. Now this is block aluminum, and you might can tell I've beat it up and tried everything to get those little cards out of there. I got one of them out, but I can't seem to get these others out. And they're quite heavy gold, real nice looking, and I've got a bunch of them. So I'm just going to have to send him this, all the weight included, and he's going to have to figure out how to get those off of there. I'm not real sure what. These are some little things that are, again, gold-bearing material, but since they were white board instead of the green, I separated them out. Another interesting thing here, you'd think, well, this is just a regular board. It's a pretty nice board. It's at least peripheral grade, if not maybe a little higher grade. But when you turn it over, I think you can see there, that's just all kinds of little gold LEDs. And there's just bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches. And these are not regular LEDs. They're like little mini circuits. Again, I wish you could zoom in and really tell it, but it's really quite good. And there's two of those boards, so I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of that. Now these boards here, I've still got to work on a little bit. I need to pop the chips out. These are not gold backing, so there's no sense in sending that to him. I just need to get the chips off, and then I need to get the, there's some little pins here that I need to get off of there. And so it's a little more work I need to do there. I've got a little bit of gold, nice, really heavy. I know these are good. We processed 11 pounds of these before and got a little over 1 gram per pound, so those are real good. There's just not very many of them. And then I've got a box here of, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the video on that one. Get that box open here. There we go. Hey, went for a ride. Lots more little gold-bearing parts and pieces and transistors and stuff that's got gold legs. So all this is going to go in there. Now we've got, what else? Oh, just more of the same stuff. This was just a box, and I was sorting through just more of the same type stuff. There's another box over here with more of the same, and as you can see, all the chips and the flat packs, there's a bunch of those in here, probably a couple of pounds a piece on those. And then of course we've got processors. This is only about 1/4 of the processors I have. I didn't have too many here, and I'd taken them all into another bucket. So those are going to go with it, and well, we're going to see what happens. We're going to be shipping this out in the next few days. The new refiner that I'm going to try out, he's told me, oh, wait a minute, we got this stuff. We got gold-filled eyeglasses. There's about 3 pounds of those here, and then of course we've got the regular gold fingers. There's several pounds of those, and so those will go too. Anyway, that's what we're going to send out, making money from junk. This all comes in from just scrapping, this is just the excess, the pieces and parts that I've been saving off myself over the last couple of months. and every once in a while I got to send it in and get it refined. This is not real difficult to get stuff. This is over and above all the things that I've sold as regular cards and just my regular making money. So in fact, here's boxes of that's ready to go out right now. I've got just to show you that these are all the different things, the peripheral cards and the telecom cards and all that kind of stuff. There's 6, I think there's 6 boxes of that ready to go out right now. Anyway, that's what we're doing, making money from junk all the time, having fun. Go to makemoneyfromjunk.com, get that ebook, and we look forward to talking with you online real soon. Thanks much.